Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm back with a kind of a different video for everyone today. I was recently invited by John Caffarelli to come over to his house and operate on his model railroad. And I was really excited about it, and I brought along my camera, and I wanted to film some of that and share that with you. One of the reasons why I was so excited about visiting his layout is because he's one of these guys that I found his layout on YouTube. And was kind of just really hooked with what he was doing from a stylistic approach and a design approach, and his YouTube channel that I followed very closely over the years. And along with John, another pretty famous YouTube modeler, or at least famous to me, I don't know how famous he is for everyone else, Cam, who is known by Railfan220, who has the BNSF Plains Division layout. He was going to be there as well. So with the three of us there, it was one of those things where, like, to get a chance to meet both of these guys and to operate on one of their layouts, it was something I wasn't going to pass up. So John's layout is the Union Pacific Cascade Subdivision. It is based on an area of Oregon where the Union Pacific kind of has to climb a pretty serious hill and go through many tunnels in order to get from, oh man, I'm going to screw it up, Eugene, Oregon to Calumet Falls, Oregon, and in order to do so, they need manned helper units. And so that's basically what this entire layout is based around, is around climbing that hill with those manned helper unit operations. Now, I think it's really a fantastic idea to have a layout that fills an entire room, and it's a nice sized layout. I mean, it's a triple deck layout. It's in a room that's, I think, smaller than my layout room, but to fill up with these three decks, you really get a lot of really great railroad action squeezed into this room. And I love the focus of it. I love the fact that he kind of picked one aspect of the railroad, manned helper operations, and really just ran with it. And there's really not much else to this layout. There's not a lot of switching. There is some. There is a section where there's a bit of a local switcher who takes cars to a little industry and back, and the through traffic, they can stop and pick up a couple cars, drop a couple cars off, that kind of thing. But it's mostly about tackling the grade and getting these trains up the hill. And he's done some great stuff with this. He loads down his cars with a lot of weight, so they really feel like there's a lot of heft behind them. And you know, the man helpers, to have that involved as well, it's really cool. There's a 2.5% grade all the way up to the top of the hill. And you really do feel like you're sort of working against the mountain in order to get these trains up this hill. He's done a really excellent job, you know, building this operating scheme out. Very, very convincing. We had planned an afternoon, and about halfway through the afternoon, it was going so well, we decided to kind of add a little bit of a complication, and in the form of track warrants. Now, if you've never seen a track warrant before, essentially a way for dispatch to organize and move trains across a section of track in the country. I'll show you an example of it right here.
UP 5449, I got a track warrant for you guys to head up into Oak Ridge.
All right, ready to copy that warrant.
Okay, track warrant number 1 on January 8th, 2022, 182022 to the UP 5449 South, SOUTH. Checkbox 2, TWO, proceed from Eugene to Oak Ridge on track 1. Checkbox 3, proceed from Oak Ridge to Fields on 1, and that was checkbox 3, THREE. Checkbox 10, clear main track, last name point. And checkbox 17, 17, we're going to have you add helpers at Oak Ridge, over.
All right, so I've got track warrant number 1 ONE on January 8th, 2022, 182022 to Union Pacific 5449 South SOUTH Xbox 2 TWO. Proceed from Eugene to Oak Ridge on track 1 ONE. Xbox 3 THREE. Proceed from Oak Ridge to Fields on track 1 ONE. Xbox 10 10. Clear main track at last name point. And Xbox 17 with 17. We're going to add helpers at Oak Ridge. Over.
That is okay at 212 by dispatcher JPC. And give me a call when you guys get into Oak Ridge. We'll coordinate adding helpers over.
All right, thanks, dispatch 268. Okay, time 1412. Over.
Have a safe trip.
Sweet. Ready to go now.
So I've seen this kind of thing before on YouTube, and admittedly, it feels a little dry kind of watching it on a video, but I can tell you, being there in person and having the dispatcher, who was in this case in another room, reading these track warrants off, you copying them down, it really gives you a sense of being in the place. It really gives you a sense of like moving these cars, and it adds a ton to the operation, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had a really excellent time with that portion of it. I think his plan is ultimately to have the entire layout signaled, which I believe replaces the need for having track warrants of any kind anyway. But until that happens, I really like the track warrant operation. I felt that really added a lot. And the dispatching was really cool too. He had it set up where he could control everything from a laptop remotely in another room. And I believe you could even control the layout from a completely different location, not even in the house. I'm talking like halfway across the United States. So John, hint, hint, next time you're having an operating session, maybe a dispatcher might be a job that I'd be willing to try from my remote location. So we had a lot of fun. There's some really interesting meets. There's a like I said, not a lot of switching, but some really interesting sort of puzzles as well. We had one situation where we had a train that was supposed to meet an Amtrak train at a siding called Fields, and the freight train was too long for that siding. So how do we make that meet happen? I won't tell you how we figured it out, but we got it working, and it was really a lot of fun. So this layout obviously is still under construction. He's got a lot he has to do with it still, a lot of scenery work. But his scenery, what he has in there already, is already fantastic. He's got an excellent eye for detail. If you take a look at the way he's handled ballasting, and he has some gravel roads, all that looks just absolutely beautiful. He even has rail joiners along his sidings, which I think is really awesome as well. His weathering is amazing. He has some really amazing weathering on his cars, and it really made me jealous and made me want to get to weathering my cars as soon as possible. He's done just an excellent job with it. I did bring a couple of my locomotives with me, and I got to run my locomotives on his layout, which was a lot of fun as well. Cam brought some stuff. I think he brought a couple of locomotives and a bunch of cars as well. So overall, just a really excellent time. I had a blast. It was really great meeting these two guys. They're younger than me by a significant amount, but I feel like they are similar sort of, what do you call it? They have a similar sort of style. That's not the word. What am I thinking of? Not style. It's been so long since I've talked to the outside world that I've forgotten. What's that word for when people like each other and get along well? I don't even know anymore. God bless COVID. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. What a weird way to end the video. Oh man, thanks for joining me. If you get a chance, check out John's YouTube channel. I'll put the link below. Put a link to Cam's as well if you haven't seen his yet. chances are if you've been on YouTube for any amount of time, you've had their videos recommended to you at some point. They do some really amazing work, and yeah, so thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see everyone in a different one.